Dude, this this season has been just it's hard for me to even put this into words. I've been wanting to come back to this channel for a while. I've been getting some more time to do stuff. I've been wanting to do this, and I was gonna do it after last game, but Thanksgiving and stuff got in the way. But after this game, dude, I had to sit here and turn this camera on and talk about this. This team is absolutely just god awful. And it's not even necessarily the players. Like there is obviously talent on this team. I mean, we score 15 points in this game. 15 points. You got Russell Wilson at quarterback, who I don't know what he's doing anymore. He's missing open receivers all over the place, which we will get to in a moment. You got Russell Wilson at quarterback, who yes is a little wonky because of his finger. Alex Collins is not a scrub, right? Chris Carson may be out for the rest of the year, and Rashad Penny being injury prone and everything, you can just touch him with a stick and Rashad Penny is going to fall down. But Alex Collins is not bad, and we utilized him absolutely terrible today. Every single run, just right up the middle, right up the middle. It's not working, so let's just keep drawing and just having him go right up the middle, right up the middle, even though it's not working. You got DK Metcalf, you got Tyler Lockett, you got Will Disley, you got Gerald Everett. Dwayne Eskridge playing today. You had Freddie Swain who was making plays today, and who can make plays. We know he can make plays. You have playmakers on offense. Why are we not scoring points? I mean, yeah, sure, we scored more points this game than we did last game, but by 2 points. And those 2 points we can thank Rashad Green for, or Raheem Green, sorry, because of his blocked extra point that he returned for the touchdown. I was so excited at the beginning of this game because I'm thinking to myself, all right, defense is playing good, which defense played well throughout the game. I mean, towards the end, they started to give up a few things, but you can't blame them. They played like 80 snaps on defense today. They couldn't. It's not that they couldn't get off the field. It's more so the fact that our offense couldn't stay on the field. So our defense was tired out by the end of the game. This team has a major issue right now. And at the beginning of the season, I was really blaming Ken Norton and Pete Carroll. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, they got to go. I mean, definitely Ken Norton's got to go. And I was like, Pete Carroll's got to go. All this stuff's got to happen. And now Russell Wilson has just Russell Wilson this entire year he's kind of been he was even a little bit of up and down a little bit even before his injury. The Vikings game he was missing open receivers. He wasn't seeing them. He wasn't throwing to them. The Rams game he was off before the injury actually happened. And ever since he's been back from the injury, I get some of the throws that he missed today on third down when he's trying to throw to Gerald Everett and he misses it. I get that's his finger, but there are some things that are not Russell Wilson's fingers. When there's I counted like 7 times today that there was somebody wide open that Russell Wilson just didn't throw to. He just didn't see him. He just completely threw the ball somewhere else. One of those 7 times was in the 2-point conversion at the end of the game. Russell Wilson's looking, and then he's got DK Metcalf in his. I mean, Russell Wilson's right-handed. He should see DK. He should see DK coming this way. I mean, I know on the way you guys are seeing the camera, I'm pointing the opposite direction, but in my view, DK's coming this way. Russell throws it in the middle. Throws it in the middle. Granted, I guess in Russell Wilson's thought was he thought the DK was going to have those 2 people on him the entire time. But DK's fast, and DK was outrunning those people, even if he had 2 defenders on him. Throw it to the outside, have DK catch it. Maybe Russell just didn't trust the fact that he could get the ball out there, so he tried to just fire it down the middle on that 2-point conversion. But my God. And then the end of the game, you just go on this big drive. Right? You go on this big offensive drive. And I understand this video is starting off really ranty. It'll get a little less ranty. I feel like I really need to get my thoughts out there. And I mean, if you're a Seahawks fan, you got to be feeling the exact same way I'm feeling right now. You wait till the very end of the game to do something on offense after you did something in the first quarter. Because honestly, in the beginning of the game, we were looking good. And it wasn't until that fumble by Alex Collins where it seemed like after that, our offense literally could not do anything. Could not do anything. And once again, if it wasn't for that extra point that was blocked and returned for 2 points, it wouldn't have mattered at all if we scored at the final time there, because no matter what, even 2-point conversion or no 2-point conversion, we don't tie with them. We don't tie with the Redskins. I mean, the Washington football team. I've been calling them the Redskins for so long. Excuse me if I call them the Redskins in this video, because that's just what they've been for my whole life until last year. So that all happened. We get the gift and miracle of the fact that their kicker is now injured, so every time they get into the red zone, they basically have to go for it on 4th down. Our defense gets stops for us. They keep getting stops for us. The offense keeps getting the ball back. What was it, 5 or 6 times this game? Oh, no, it was 5 times in a row we went 3 and out. And then the one time that we didn't go 3 and outs because on 2nd down, Russell Wilson ran it up the middle for the 1st down. But after that, after we got that 1st down, then it was 3 more players, and then we punted it again. This team definitely has a coaching problem, but today, and honestly, these last 3 weeks, this has been a Russell Wilson problem. I get that his finger is not 100%, but there are plays that can be made and that he's not making, and it has nothing to do with his finger. Like I said in this game, when he is missing Gerald Everett on some of those plays, granted, yes, I know normally he would hit those plays without his finger, but there are people wide open that he's not even throwing the ball to. He goes deep downfield for DK, and he's got, I think it was Freddie Swain that was wide open in the middle. This was like in the third quarter or early in the fourth quarter, something like that. Just wide open. Just chilling there, and Russell just not seeing him. He just focused on DK down the field. DK's got 2 guys on him, but he's just going to lob the ball up to DK, which I mean, honestly, if DK catches that, he's not going to get any yards after the catch. He's going to be tackled immediately. Freddie Swain sitting there wide open over the middle. You throw it to him. Freddie Swain's going to be able to get some run after the catch yards. I just can't fathom. That's what I'm saying. It's not even really a Shane Waldron issue, because when you see the replays, when they show these replays on the television, there's open people. Russell Wilson's just not hitting them. He's not. I don't know if he's just not seeing them or if he's just constantly looking for the deep shot. It's reminding me of the way like baseball's going these days, where everybody comes up to bat, and instead of being focused on getting a base hit, every single team in baseball these days seems to just be focused on swinging for the fences. And I get that's just kind of the way baseball's going, but what Russell is doing is it's like he's just always wanting to go for the deep ball. And granted, everything that's wrong with his finger, his deep ball seems to be pretty accurate. I mean, honestly, his deep ball's pretty accurate. It's his short balls that were kind of going all over the place today. But I don't even know what to think of Wilson right now, because he's just not seeing anything. It's like the offense just isn't clicking for him. And you would have thought after last game they probably, because he missed a lot of stuff last game too. You would have thought they really sat him down in the film room and they would have had some game plan of, hey, listen, just take the open shots, dink dunk, dink dunk. I mean, do we not see what Peyton Manning was doing towards the end of his career, what Tom Brady is doing right now in Tampa Bay, what many of other quarterbacks are doing? That take what the defense is giving you. I understand that it's fun to take a deep shot, and if the deep shot's there, you have a pretty deep ball and you wanna go for it. I get it, because I love when Russell Wilson puts the ball up in the air like that. It's a beautiful ball. It really is. They call it the moon ball. It's great. But my God, it seems like that's all he knows how to do anymore. It's like he's just forgotten how to play football. And then towards the end there, I mean, granted, yes, we still scored the touchdown on that long drive, but he's sitting there and he's looking, and then he just takes the sack, and it's 2nd down and 19. And I know some people are going to sit there and say, well, it doesn't matter because we still scored a touchdown on that drive. It doesn't matter. Don't take unnecessary sacks. All right, you didn't need to take that sack. You could have just thrown the ball away. And since you took that sack, the clock kept running. We had no timeouts. Like, what if we had not scored on that drive? That could have been a really detrimental play that Russell Wilson committed right there. And luckily, it wasn't. It's this team right now. I don't even exactly know what to do, because at the beginning of the season, I really was just like, dude, Pete Carroll is just, he's out of his. Him and Ken Norton are just, they're out of sync. Their defense is not working. Now all of a sudden, the defense is like finding their game, and the offense has forgotten how to play. I shouldn't say the offense. Russell Wilson has forgotten how to play. We looked better when Geno was there. Even when Geno was like fumbling the ball and stuff, like for 3 straight games in a row when he turned the ball over to have us lose those games. I mean, other than the Saints game, we really didn't do anything on offense. Against the Steelers, Geno didn't look that bad, right? Against the Jaguars, granted, yes, I know it's the Jaguars. Geno didn't look too bad. At least he was moving. At least he was hitting open people. Had Russell played against the Steelers or the Jaguars, I'm not necessarily sure all those passes that Geno hit, I'm not sure if Russell would have hit those passes. This game, to me, this is not about our defense here. All right. Yes, our defense towards the end of the game was giving up some stuff, but they made a huge crucial 4th down stop at the end of the game. A huge crucial 4th down stop. And even if that receiver on the football team was able to hold on to that ball in the end zone and had the Redskins gotten another touchdown right there when they went for it on 4th down, I still wouldn't have blamed this game on the defense, because they are out there for 80 plays. I mean, what do you expect for them to do? This team has, I used to think it just had a coaching problem. Now I think it just has a Russell Wilson problem. All right, injury or no injury, I mean, you having a bad finger, it does not excuse the fact that you're just not throwing to the person that's open. That doesn't explain that. Yes, it explains why you're missing Gerald Everett when he's right in front of you, but it does not explain why you're not throwing it to the open person. Especially on that 2-point conversion. I mean, when it happened live, I was like, oh, the football team had good coverage. But then they show the replay, and what do you see? DK Metcalf going open. Russell Wilson missing him. And DK Metcalf is pissed. And I'd be pissed if I was him too because he's been open. He was open multiple times today, and Russell just wasn't finding him. And then that one play when he was open, when DK was open, he went onto the sideline. If you were watching on TV, you saw DK pointed at Geno as if like, you know what, Geno, you would have thrown it to me. And I don't even think it's fair to say that DK is acting like a diva because listen, if you're open, you're open. And it's like, why aren't you throwing me the ball? Why are you holding on to it, or why are you throwing it to places that don't make sense for you to throw it? This entire game, I blame on Russell Wilson. This entire game, I blame on Russell Wilson. This is no one else's fault. It's not the offensive. It's not. I mean, yes, there were some bad running plays. It's like, I don't know why we kept calling the same running play over and over and over again. It made absolutely no sense to me. All right. But that's not why we lost this game. We lost this game because even when Shane Waldron is calling plays that schemes receivers open, Russell Wilson will not pass them. I want to do something real quick. I want to go through the remaining parts of our schedule. Right? So, let's take a look at the rest of our schedule, shall we? All right. So right now we sit at 3-8. Next week, which was originally supposed to be Sunday Night Football, got flexed to just a regular afternoon game because, the Niners, while aren't terrible, aren't as good as everybody thought they were going to be. And then obviously the Seahawks aren't as good as everybody thought they were going to be. Yes, we're playing the Niners in Seattle. I don't think we're winning that game. Based off what I've seen these last 3 weeks, even if Wilson's finger gets healed, he's not going to throw to the open people. There's something wrong with Wilson's game right now. I don't see how he went against the Niners. The week after, December 12th, the Houston Texans. I can see us winning against the Texans. We should win against the Texans. I'll give us that win. Then we got the Rams, playing them in LA. We're not winning that. The Bears, I could see that kind of being a toss-up game, but I'll give that to the Bears too. I'll give it to the Bears because as of right now, the defense is not what I don't trust. It's the offense. Week 17 against the Lions. I think we win against the Lions. We're playing the Lions in Seattle. Should win that game. Hopefully we win that game. And then we close the season out traveling. We close the season out traveling to Arizona to play the Cardinals. And out of the remaining games that we have, the only games I can see Seattle winning is against the Lions and against the Texans. Now, I'm not saying those are the only games that they will win, but those are like the sure-in games. I don't see them being competitive against the other 3 divisional games they have left. I mean, does anybody watching this video see the Seahawks being competitive at all there? I sure don't. So if the Seahawks win just those 2 games, they end the season with a 5 wins and 12 losses, 5-12 record. You go from 10. They were retooling after 2017, right? You go 10-6. You go 11-5, and then last year you go 12-4. Now, granted, we were a really kind of messy 12-4 team last year. Like may have been one of the worst 12-4 teams I've ever seen. We were really kind of a crazy team in 2020, and then you dropped to 5-12. And the crazy part is, if you told me, hey Cameron, guess what? This year the Seahawks are gonna go 5-12. Russell's gonna miss 3 games, but he's gonna play the rest of the 14. I would be like, oh, so our defense sucked that much, huh? That's what I would say. But that's not what the issue is. The issue is the quarterback that we're paying all this money to. Look at this, all right? So we go to the beginning. Let's just talk about the games we played earlier in the season, okay? The Colts, we looked like a complete team. The Colts got that one garbage time touchdown to, have them score like 16 points, whatever. The Tennessee Titans, that game can definitely be blamed on the defense, but also the offense got really stagnant in the second half too. But yes, the defense didn't play well that game. Minnesota Vikings, another game the defense did not really play great in, but at the same time, the Seahawks couldn't really do anything in the second half, and their defense just had to keep staying on the field. The Niners, the Seahawks defense was not bad. The Rams, the Seahawks defense was iffy, but the main problem that game as well was the Seahawks offense, and when Geno came in, he had a chance to kind of lead a drive at the end, unfortunately through the interception. The Pittsburgh Steelers, the Seahawks defense was not the issue in that game. The New Orleans Saints, the Seahawks defense, while they were giving up a lot of long play drives, at the end of the day, they only gave up 13 points. When your defense only gives up 13 points, you can't sit there and blame the defense. Your offense only scored 10 points. The Jaguars' defense obviously wasn't an issue that game. We only gave up 7 points. Packers, the defense was not an issue at all that game. We held the Packers to 3 points and, gave up 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, but that's just because our defense was absolutely gassed. The Cardinals, all right, last week against the Cardinals, our defense was not very good. and we're lucky the Cardinals only put up 23 points on us because they could have put up way more. But once again, offense only scores 13 points. Today, offense only scores 15 points. Our defense did a great job. I am very proud of our defense today. We have injuries and stuff, and this is what I just don't get. It's like, why can't this team just work together? It's like last year when the defense was bad, it was like, okay, well, we're just going to start blowing teams out with our offense, and we did. And then our defense started to get better down the stretch, and then our offense faltered. Now, this year, all of a sudden, when our defense starts playing good, we can't score points. Why? So the last 3 weeks, Seattle has scored a grand total of 28 points because they laid a goose egg in Green Bay. 28 points the last 3 weeks with Russell Wilson at quarterback. Yes, coming back from injury, but still it's Russell Wilson. And your defense was doing its job for the most part, other than really the Cardinals game. But still, the Cardinals game was winnable. I didn't really have much expectations going into Washington game because last week's game against the Cardinals was basically for the season. And if the Seahawks played the way they did last week, and that was basically their season on the line, I didn't really expect them to do anything different today. But their defense really stepped up, and the offense just... this is what I'm... there's an issue here. And I think right now it's a Russell Wilson issue. And we can have the conversation about Pete and everything, and I'm not saying Pete should stay because the other issue that's going on right now is we haven't drafted well or anything like that. Even though we're bad this year, we're not going to have a first round pick to use the fact that we're bad on. The Jets have it. It's annoying. It's really annoying, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. And at this point, the rest of the season, so we're 3-8 right now, right? We've played 11 games. We got 6 games left to go. Unless Russell Wilson really just turns around the next 6 games, because this shouldn't even be like, oh, it's a first-year offense. It shouldn't be about that. All right? And I'm sorry if you can hear my dog barking. It shouldn't be about that. It's just a first-year offense. You're an NFL veteran quarterback, and when you're sitting there in the pocket, how do you not see people wide open? Especially when people are right in front of you. Freddie Swain is right in front of you. And then in the 2-point conversion, you're a right-handed quarterback. You're looking this way. Yes, your eyes may be there, but if you have any sort of peripheral vision, do you not... DK also put his hand up. He wasn't just like open and didn't do it. Hey, I'm open. DK's a big guy. You should be... come on. You can't see DK in his long wingspan. It's just... It's embarrassing. Every single primetime game this year is just awful. Then obviously we don't get next week's primetime game, which is a good thing. I don't want to be on primetime next week. I don't want everybody else to see how terrible we are. This is bad. And this has gone from everybody blaming Ken Norton and Pete Carroll to really this is a Russell Wilson shit show. And this is bad. And like I said, it really is going to depend how Russell plays these next 6 weeks. And some people might say, oh, well, you're just going to hold one bad year against him. It's not even just one bad year. Russell has been doing this last few years where he's been missing wide open people. He's just not throwing it to them. But we've been getting lucky because he either leads like a really big fourth quarter drive, or the opposite team does something stupid and we somehow miraculously win the game. So it hasn't caught up to us yet. This year it's catching up to us because no luck is going our way. We're not getting these lucky times where all of a sudden we have the ball at the end of the fourth quarter. We can do something. We had some games like that, but unfortunately it was Geno Smith with the ball and not Russell Wilson. Basically... should be dumb now. I'm sorry about that. Basically, everything that's been wrong with the Seahawks the last few years has finally come and culminated in this season, and everybody's seeing it. If you're a fan, there's really no way. I don't even know if you're a fan. I don't know how you could possibly sit here and act like this isn't a Russell Wilson problem, because it totally is. And our defense is just on the field all the time because we can't move the ball. And the stat, they said it today on the television. Russell Wilson went throwing the ball for a second down. Big high completion percentage, and on third down it's off, and he missed throws today on third down, granted probably because of the finger, but there were also other throws that he missed that people were just wide open and had nothing to do with the finger. He just didn't throw it to them. And it was the same thing with the Rams playoff game last year, the wild card game. I remember Jacob Hollister was open on a certain play, and there's other things this isn't just this season. This isn't a Shane Waldron issue that Russell Wilson is having. This is a Russell Wilson issue that he needs to sort out. I don't know if it's because he can't see over the line. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because he just always wants to take the deep shot. All I know is Russell Wilson says he cares about winning. He wants to be like Tom Brady. If he wants to be like Tom Brady, he should watch the way Tom Brady plays. Tom Brady isn't always just chucking these things downfield. That's not what he's doing. This is just, it's so disappointing. Anyway, listen, I'm always going to be a Seahawks fan. I'm not sitting here hopping off a bandwagon or anything, if there even was still a bandwagon for Seahawks fans. I'm guessing that the bandwagon ended long ago, probably a few seasons removed from the Super Bowl loss. But what I'm saying is I'm always going to be a fan. I just came on here. I have to give my thoughts out here. I want to know some of your guys' thoughts. But listen, I want stuff to get better. I don't want this team to just lose out. I do want stuff to change, but at the end of the day, since I'm a fan, I don't like when this team loses. I don't like when they play like crap. So I root for them. But that's going to do it for the video. I'm always going to be a fan. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. And go Hawks.